Yeah, yeah.
Coming up on Mental Health Matters with Marty, the Will and Jada Smith syndrome, Black marriages and relationships. You really don't want to miss this one. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? It's me. It's Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you always live and in living color in Southern California, where the sun is always shining. Y'all know how we do it out here. What's going on, everybody? We are finally, can you believe it? We're finally getting some cooler weather out here, because those 90-degree weathers last week, it was killing me, y'all. But we are back. We are back. We are back. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another edition of our weekly show, Mental Health Matters with Marty. And we are glad that you are here tonight. Let us know where you're listening from. Shout out to everyone. We are glad that you are here. We have an exciting show for you. Hope that you're doing well. We're getting in this last. Can you believe October is almost over? It was just my birthday a couple weeks ago, but hey, we're doing well, living large, and trying to do what it make it do out there. I hope, as last week we talked about, as we're going through these seasonal changes and everything, that you are taking care of yourself. Your mental health matters so much. And I hope that you are doing everything you can to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're in a great place. And remember, you don't have to succumb to all the pressures that society, that our families, and that communities put on you about keeping up with the Joneses during this holiday time. Listen, do what only you can do, and do what you want to do in these times. Listen, if you don't have the budget to do everything that you would desire, it's okay. And it's okay to say, you know what, y'all, we're not doing it this time. But hope that you're doing well. Again, let us know where you're listening from. And let me remind you what we do here at the Mental Health Marty show that we do every week and live on here. Now, the Mental Health Marty show is intended for psychoeducational purposes and psychoeducational purposes only. We are not, let me repeat, we are not a replacement for you seeing your therapist, because we're not doing live therapy on here, even though we might give you some therapeutic methods and methodologies and those type of things. We are not your therapist on this show. However, we are discussing therapeutic issues, especially pertaining to our Black and Brown communities, where we secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. But we don't want you to do that, because we want to break down barriers that keep our communities and the stigmas about mental health and mental health services. Just because you're going through a mental health crisis does not necessarily mean that you have a mental health diagnosis. However, if you are experiencing any type of mental health crisis or anything of that nature, we want you to call the mental health helpline. That's anywhere across the nation at 988. Again, the mental health helpline at 988, or go to your nearest urgent care or emergency room for those specific health needs that you might need. Again, we want to be a part of your treatment plan, and we are not a substitute for you seeing your therapist, your psychiatrist, your pastor, your mentor, your living coach, life coach, or your spouse, or anything like that. But now, how do you engage with us during this live show? I am so glad you asked that question. All of our comments, although we are streaming on multiple platforms, your comments, if you want your comments to be read and seen on the show tonight, please go to the YouTube page and subscribe to Mental Health Marty. That's how you do it. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button, and when you hear that bing, just like that, you know that you are going to be notified every time we come on. Ronnie, I appreciate you listening every week from New York. Ronnie, how's it going? How's the weather out there? Mom, you say hello to Daryl? Really? You're just downstairs. Last week she says, this is the mom calling, tuning in from downstairs. Yes, Steph. Hello there, Brianna here, loving all the work. Thank you so much. Listen, we would not be who we are without all of you chiming in. Jaywalk, you know, we got nothing but mad love for you, man. Hope you're doing well and you got the settlement, you're back settled in the Michigan area and everything. And we're going to definitely connect next time I'm out that way. But hope everyone is doing well. We would not be who we are without having all of you who are faithful followers who've been following us for years now. I've been doing the Mental Health Marty show for nearly 10 years now. We started off on Mondays. We switched to Tuesdays, but you all have been such a blessing to me. You all have changed my life, and I cannot thank you enough because we want to erase the negative stigma behind mental health and mental health, especially for our Black communities and specifically for Black men. But I'm so glad we are talking about a hot topic. It has been talked about for weeks now. And y'all, I've been on for the past couple of weeks talking to Black men about what I'm calling, Miss Tanya Hill, how are you, darling? Yes, hope you are doing well. What I'm calling the Will and Jada syndrome. And because when we're talking about Black relationships, Black marriages, just relationships in general, you know, too many of us suffer in silence, whether it's good relationships, and we all know that all relationship has its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows. And me being a divorcee myself, realizing that. But I'm so glad that we have some amazing experts. These sisters, I'm bringing on the sisters tonight, y'all. These sisters are SoBomb.com, and I'm so glad that they are here. They are local to the IE. I'm here to let you know we have qualified, let me say that again, qualified, licensed, let me say that one again, here in the IE that have passion for our community. And I'm so glad that this is their first time on the Mental Health Marty show, but it definitely will not be their last. They are doing great work in the community. We are collaborating and seeing how we can put all of our resources together to make a huge impact on our communities, because resources get to us usually last. And by the time we recognize it, oftentimes the funding sources are often dried up or non-existent any longer. But these ladies are absolutely so amazing, and they have passion about our communities. So Daryl, who's up first for us tonight? Because you are, yes, this sister, she is so bad. She is a doctor herself, and she has an earned degree. Touch your neighbor and say earned degree. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist all the way from San Bernardino, California. Dr. April Clay of Clay Counseling Services. Yes, Dr. Clay.
Hey.
How are you?
Awesome, Marty. Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Listen, thank you. Listen, I have to admit, y'all, Marty blew it this week, and I asked these ladies just this morning. And listen, that's when you know you got some ride or die folk, which would be like, I got you, I got you, I got you. And I appreciate you, Dr. Clay. So thank you so much. This being your first time, let our audience know, about who you are, your passion, and your services that you offer to the community.
Absolutely. And I apologize for any feedback. My name is April Clay, and I do have a passion for the work that we do in the community. I'm a
Yes.
licensed marriage and family therapist. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you great. Everything is fine. You're
Okay. Okay, good,
perfect.
good.
Great lighting, everything.
Perfect, perfect. So the work that we do in San Bernardino County and Riverside County really does center
Yeah.
around prioritizing families as a hub of the
Yes.
community. We want to make sure that our families are well, so we do work with our children first. We also expand our services to our family members. We offer parenting classes. We also
Yeah.
do individual services for the full gamut, right? But then I'm
Yes.
also, in addition to doing that work, I'm a community advocate. So whatever, if you find a
Yes.
need for advocacy, you're going to probably see me or one of my colleagues in it somehow, some way. I chair our Department of Behavioral Health Cultural Competency Advisory Committee, as well as like 1,000 other hats. I'm the president of my chapter for my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, as well as the
Yes.
NCNW parliamentarian. That's a few things that I do in our community.
Yes. Not only that, she's a wife. She does all these amazing things. She's out in the community, just championing the work and making sure that Black and Brown people, our voices are heard. So, Dr. Clay, we salute you. Thank you for your work. Listen, y'all, Dr. Clay has got me in on some stuff, and I know they hate when I come because I'm always going, we need to get paid. We need to
That's
get
right.
paid for the work that we do.
That's why we
So,
bring you,
thank
Marty. We got to have that work done with us. You know what I'm saying? And we don't be coming
Yes,
lowballing us. Pay us
that's
what we're worth.
right. That's right. That's right. And Dr. Clay, I love that you also you do an amazing job with mentoring. I'm so impressed. I didn't realize till about session meeting number 3 that Twan worked for you, and she mentors other young Black men in the field as well to bring balance to the field. And you promote him and these Black men, these young Black men, to positions of power and authority, and I love it. I just you're an amazing role model, and thank you for all
Thank
that you do. So you're seen. I see you. I see you. Because I'm like, I need to grow up and be like April. Because Dr. April, I'm sorry, I'm gonna call you by because you earned your doctorate. It was not given to you, and you got the student loans to prove it. So So I want to also bring on, it is her birthday today, and we're so excited to have her on today. She is, I've known Wandalyn, I can't even tell you how long now, Wandalyn, we've been doing this, but she is also another advocate in the community. She is a soft-natured person, but she has a powerful punch and a powerful voice. None other than Miss Wandalyn Lane. Happy
Yeah,
birthday!
thank you. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hello.
Hello,
Again, Marty,
hello.
how you doing? Just as Dr. April said, thank you. This is a fun day to end a birthday, being and supporting
Yes.
Marty, mental health matters. I love it. So, just a little bit about me. I
Yes.
have been working in the community, San Bernardino, probably for about 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working with children and families. I'm going to really give
Mm-hmm.
my age, about 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like, okay, it's time to do something different because you're not hearing me, people. So I ended up starting my private practice 4 years ago, April,
Come
and
on.
yes, and it's now I've have the privilege of I'm training interns now. I have 3 interns
Yes.
that I'm working with. I have
Yes.
now getting back into the community work. My passion is family, so this is a great topic because we need to work with the whole family, not just
Yes.
husband, wife, and child, the whole family. Love teaching parenting class. One of my curriculums that I love teaching is effective Black parenting. So
Mm.
I'm on a campaign of doing that. Work with a charter school in San Bernardino, counsel at my church. So I am that. And I was letting Marty know earlier with Dr. April. We went to school together many years ago. And yes, so it is a small world. Yes, love it. And
It,
thank you
it
again. I
is.
appreciate this.
No, I appreciate both of you. Y'all, I told you we got these amazing women. I think a lot of times people don't know about the work that we do, and it's so great and so important. But before we even go into the topic, Dr. April, I'm going to ask you as well, Wandalyn, what pulled you, because I think as a calling, to mental health and wanting to make sure that our community is healthy? What's the drive behind all of that, Dr. April?
It's hard to say one single pull. I would say definitely it's
Right.
the overall work, right? The work
Yes.
leads me, it calls you to itself. So,
Yes.
doing the work as a parent, first off, so going into the
Mm-hmm.
schools, providing support to my own children, and then deciding, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested in psychology. So, one degree leads to another degree, leads to
Right.
another. And as time went on, I began to realize that I cannot do the work of psychology, like counsel people and counsel
Mm-hmm.
marriages and help families heal, if I don't deep dive. Like, I got to jump right in
Yes.
on the deep end when
Yes.
it comes to providing the services, with an advocacy lens. So it just kind of grew
Yes.
into an advocacy role for myself over time. And I apologize, this whole
Yes.
camera situation. Think, is that better?
No,
Is this better?
oh, that's great.
That's
That's
better?
great.
Okay. I'm like
Yes,
struggling to get
yes.
the camera
I love
right.
it. I
Okay.
love it. Wanda, you see, our viewers are giving you mad love and happy birthday. I
Yes.
love the people who view and follow me and everything because they show love and trust me. Uh, who's that, Dr. April? Tell Dr. April to pull. Okay, Dr. April, Daryl's in my ear, so can you pull your camera back just a little bit? So there you go. But put it back the way. Okay. There we go. Okay, he said put it back. Okay, I'm trying. I know. I know. We're gonna get this together. It's all good.
I'll get it right.
So
I'll get it
Wanda,
right. I'll go off the
yes,
back.
that's okay. Wandalyn, what about yourself? What pulled you into this field, and what gives you such passion and drive to do what you do?
Okay. So I'm gonna just kind of be a little bit transparent here. Growing
Mm-hmm.
up, I wanted to be a medical doctor. That was the buzzword to tell your parents. But I soon found out math and science was not for me. I did not want to do that. But helping people, because I have my grandma's
Yes.
spirit, that and she was a giver and a helper. And so I've
Yes.
incorporated that. I've been working with children ever since I was 13, park and
Oh wow.
recreation,
Uh-huh.
and kind of elevated to group homes, different other community
Mm-hmm.
agency wraparound
Mm-hmm.
program,
Yes.
foster family social worker,
Yes.
managing different program, working with at-risk youth and teens. And so, as I was sharing earlier, I just start hitting that ceiling. I'm
Mm-hmm.
stuck. So going back to
Mm-hmm.
school and getting into psychology, and this was my love. This is my gift. This is what I've been graced to do, and helping
Yes.
others, and I love it.
Yes. I do, I do. Based upon because we met when you were when both of us, I believe, were doing wraparound services at the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
What do you think is some of the greatest needs that our families, our Black families, our Brown families, what do you think is some of the greatest needs that you've seen, and that you would say would that could help our listeners and everything? If you had to share one or two things that you see maybe in common, or some of the needs or the deficits in common to help make a difference in these lives of our families.
So emotionally, what we need to get back is just loving ourselves
Mm,
and loving who we are, no matter where we
yes.
come from, and not expecting that other individual to feel that love, because they never will. But economically, we
Mm-hmm.
need the opportunity. We need
Yes.
the chance to get
Mm-hmm.
elevated to a status that, not we don't need your handout. We just need a hand up
Right.
to get to where we
Yes.
want to go. Hmm.
Yeah. That's so true because a lot of people don't realize the difference between a handout and a hand. We're not asking for a handout, and many of our
Nope.
communities now there are some that just live off of that. That's just the way they
Right. Right.
made their lives.
Right.
But for most of us have not. We just let's give me the opportunity. Show me
Yes.
how. Teach me
Right.
how to fish. I don't want you to fish for me.
Yes.
Teach me how, and then how can I multiply that? That's so good with that.
Yes.
Now, you deal with children and everything. Wanda, I'm so very
Hmm.
proud of you. Kim Brown, yes, we're proud of her. I agree. I agree. See, I love it. I love it. Now, let's talk about marriages and relationships before we even get in there. I'm hoping that
Mm.
Dr. April can jump back on because I know she's going to be hot and juicy on this too. In marital counseling, because we as Black men, we think that
Hmm.
I ain't crazy. I don't,
Hmm.
we much rather talk to our barber and our boys, and then we're even still closed
Hmm.
off about that. But what do you think? Some of the
Hmm.
help that you said that we maybe some of our families need, marital families need. Give us access. Yes.
Hmm. So I'm gonna. I've got to get stuck here. It
That's
starts
all
with
right. Go
us.
ahead. Yes, it
We
does.
must love us first.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that we were created with greatness and talents and abilities, and no matter what shape or color, to know how great you are. And so when
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a family, I'm given
Mm-hmm.
out of my abundance of knowing
Oh,
how
that's good.
great I am.
Yes.
Then if I'm feeling down or I'm feeling that I'm not worthy, then that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
giving you. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're not validating or you're praising, then now I'm mad. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking you're taking something from me that I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
give. And the
Mm-hmm.
cycle just perpetuate. And so that's
Yes.
now. And and for us, I don't want to get started with some racial trauma. We've got to deal with that. We are
Yes.
still a product of our experience of being
Mm-hmm.
enslaved, which is still
Yes.
very embedded in our DNA that we've got to get through. So,
Yes.
Marty, it's a
Yes.
lot that we've got to
It
go. That's why we
is.
need more Black clinicians to be doing the work to help our people.
I agree. Dr. Rita Walker, and out of the University of Houston, love her, love her, love her. If you don't have her book, please go get it. And the Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. She states
Mm,
in there that phrase. She says, just stuck with me. She says, "We have experienced so much trauma till we no
hmm.
longer recognize when we are in crises."
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and we have trauma from, I think, and I can only talk from the male perspective, making sure we're masculine enough, making sure we do this. And I say it this way,
Hmm.
that we, as especially Black men, societal says that we can be the angry Black man, we can be
Right,
the over sexualized Black man, we can be
right,
the entertaining Black man, and I go into whether it's entertaining in rap or entertaining in sports, and we're going to be the Black buffoon. But we're not allowed to be
right,
any of those other things but those things. And so with that, we have to become, I call it the triple P factor: uh, providers, protectors, and producers. And if
right.
we're not
That's good.
providing, we're not protecting, and we're not producing, then we become the problem.
That's good. That's good. Hmm. Hmm.
We become so in this, because everybody is talking about Will and Jada. Lord have mercy.
Mm,
And I have to, I'm going to admit I have been angry at Will. I don't know him personally. I just been
hmm.
angry at him since the
Hmm.
infamous slap. But now here recently,
Right.
my anger has turned into empathy
Hmm.
because of
Hmm.
everything. Now, I don't at first I was mind blown and godsmacked that they have been separated since 2016. But now I'm like,
Hmm.
I think more Black families are secretly suffering in silence,
Hmm.
and that there are
Hmm.
several couples that have that are living together but are emotionally divorced. Talk to me about
Mm-hmm.
that, Wanda, from your experience and practice.
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. So, let me I'm a real transparent person, and I
I
could
love
speak
it.
to this personally. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was widowed at 28 with two children.
Mm.
Ended up,
Mm-hmm.
because made some not great decisions, ended up getting
Right.
married again,
Right.
but that ended in divorce. So I
Yes.
I got me and God got together and said, I need to do this right. And I stayed celibate, humble,
Mm-hmm.
relationship for
Mm-hmm.
12 years. Um,
Mm.
got married actually 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, in this last 3 years, this brother decided that he's dealing with that trauma, he's dealing with the addiction and
Mm-hmm.
some mental health, and he didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
get it together. Okay,
Mm.
I can't save you. I can't help you. I
Right.
can support you.
Wow.
So we're separated, and he's got to work on himself, but I
Yes.
am staying faithful to the truth of what my commitment. But
Yes.
I don't know how it's gonna end, but
Right.
I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna allow him to do the work.
I
And
love
we
that.
do suffer in silence. Many couples
Yes.
that come, and this is the biggest thing. I don't Communication, breaking down in communication.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I'm listening to this, and it's not
Yes.
communicating with their partner, it's them having
Right.
the communication with their self, that
Ooh.
you're you're not acknowledging your hurt, your pain, and you want this other person to fix it.
Ooh, that's
No,
so good.
it's not going to happen. We must fix ourselves. We
Yes.
must support ourselves first before we can
Yes.
help others.
And that's not being selfish. And too often, I think
No.
in our community, say you're being selfish. There, look, Dr. April is back. Yeah, I love it. You're being selfish. You're doing this. You're doing that. And it's not being selfish. It's being. I say it
Right.
this way: being self-full. Because if I can't take, listen, my self-care is not an option any longer. It's a necessity.
Right.
I got to take
Right.
care of me. Just like when you're on the airplane, in case of an emergency, first put I almost said the gas mask. Put the mask on yourself, then help others. But how many
Right.
times in the marriage we get married hoping that the other person is going to save us and we can't
Right.
save ourselves? So, Dr. April, we were just talking about we started talking about this whole Will and Jada syndrome. Lord have mercy, and what this looks like, uh, and just this communication, and I was sharing, I was angry all this time. I had been carrying all this anger towards Will. I don't know him personally, but now I'm very much empathetic, and I've been talking to brothers for about 2-3 weeks now, and really wanted a female insight on this, because we brothers, we in our man cave, we was going off. Jada's making him a punk, da 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 da. And I don't know if you saw the Rick Ross, what he said. He goes, Jada Pinkett makes me not want to respect women or take marriage seriously. And I'm
Mm.
like, whoa, that's a strong statement. And we can't let Jada make the decision and lump all Black women as that. And everything,
Right.
but Dr. Clay, what's your whole thought about this, Will and Jada, because it's playing out in public?
It is. It is. But it's part of the unfortunate cost of being a celebrity, I would imagine, right? Because
Yes,
that
yes,
part of what you are no longer able to do is have full, complete
yes,
privacy. None of us have full,
right.
complete privacy. We give a little bit of that up every time we leave the house, every time we engage on social media, etc. But as a
Mm-hmm.
celebrity, as a public figure, part of your income is tied to your image. And that being
Yes.
said, it's unfortunate that society has created some unusual norms around what is and
Hmm.
isn't acceptable based on what's convenient. So we have a lot of, I want to say, we have made it look glamorous to be inappropriate.
Yes.
We have
Ooh.
created a culture where the more dramatic the behaviors are, the more airtime it gets. The more airtime it gets, the more
Mm.
a person's income goes up. So we have pretty much monetized bad behavior.
Ooh,
We've
that's
created a
good.
situation where folks now have normalized infidelity in such a way that the true meaning of marriage
Mm,
and this whole idea of union has lost its weight in a lot of young people's minds. They no longer see it in the
mm,
same way as they did in the previous years or previous generations. And so, since we're changing our cultural norms as a society, you can anticipate,
Mm.
right, that some aspects of the way we engage privately would be glamorized publicly when it's not acceptable. It would have never been
Yeah.
mm.
acceptable 30 years ago. Why
That's
are we
good.
accepting that behavior now? So it's unfortunate that the
Wow.
dirty laundry, so to speak, or the negative aspects of their marriage are being aired out in public view.
Hmm.
But part of that is the cost of them being celebrities and being public figures. Another part is us glamorizing poor behavior. And so for me, the
Hmm.
sanctity of marriage is taught at home. Those values should be passed on to our children, but you can't control what our kids are looking at anymore. It's very difficult. Even my 7-year-old grandson, 6-year-old grandson has access to television in such a way that his video games, Roblox, etc., show him culture and value and things that I don't
Yeah.
necessarily agree with. So we have to
Hmm.
kind of help course correct. And the only way you really know what he's being taught is if you're sitting there viewing it with him. And I
Yeah.
don't
Right.
think that that's happening the same way.
Yeah, no, totally agree. You brought up some excellent points there, and when we're looking at them, what I like to do is talk about healthy relationships and what
Mm,
that looks like. Wandalyn, I love what you talked about, talk about the importance of effective communication. And I think a lot of times as we grow and mature, we don't spend enough time, growing and maturing ourselves and then growing and maturing the relationship. Because I shouldn't
right.
be the
Mm.
same when I entered into the dating stage, to the
Right.
engagement stage, to the marital stage,
Right.
to 5 years later. There should be growth. But I don't think we know how to
Yeah.
measure that growth. And with that, one of the gentlemen said it this way. He said, in Wonderland, I thank you for your transparency. A lot of when we do it separation, he says, my wife and I are in separation so that we can go into evaluation, so we can find the appreciation, so we can get back to restoration. I thought that was
Mm.
brilliant.
I
Isn't
love
isn't
that.
that good? Yes,
That's good.
separation so we can go into evaluation, so we can find the appreciation to get back to restoration. And so that is a clear plan.
That is
Uh,
good.
and, 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 and isn't that good? There's steps with that. Dr. April, can you talk to us about, we were talking about some of the common challenges we see when people get to us. Normally, time they're saying they want us to say get a divorce, and I'm like, you'll never hear me say that. No.
Never.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't
Mm-mm.
go into this for the sake of getting
Never.
people separated. They can do that by
Right,
themselves.
right. You can do that by
Yeah.
yourself. And
Yes.
oftentimes, by the time they get to us, they're at that just one more straw that's going to break that whole marital
Mhm.
camel's back. But
Right.
Mhm.
if we could guide people today, whether it's they're in a relationship or wanting to enter a relationship or into marriage and everything, Dr. Clay, you and your husband, you guys seem like you had a lot of fun, and he understands you. But what were some of the secrets, if I can get a little personal, to the success of your marriage, and what do you tell other people in finding success in their relationships?
I think it goes back to something Wandalin touched on. So I will say I've been married for 28 years. We've been together for 30, and now he's gotten real close. He's like 2 inches behind my camera. Listening to
Wait.
the
Tell
conversation.
pop in the picture. Tell pop in the frame so we got to celebrate him too. Listen, people ain't even been saying married for 28 days, let alone. That's right. Come on. How you feel? Listen. That's now we got the real
Yes.
experts on. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna
Yes.
hear from
So
him too. So listen, I tell you, we do everything unconventional.
I love it.
28
I love it.
years. 28 years.
Yeah.
Good.
What
Praise
is
God.
the secret to 28 years of marriage? What did you guys do? Because you got to make some choices.
There you go.
You got
Yeah.
to make some choices. You
Totally
got to say,
agree.
yes.
Sacrifice.
So
Yeah. I totally agree.
I hear you. Sacrifice. So it's a give and take, and we're given. See, thank you, Tanya. She says, yes, that part right there. I know that's right. Yes, Ronnie says, congrats. See, that's right. The folks is excited. You know.
That's more of you, less of me.
So what's up? She said, wait a minute, I'm the guest, not you. What's success to you guys as a relationship? And I'd love to hear your take on Will and Jada as well.
I would say, I'll speak first. So, to me, I think part of the concern, right? Part of the recipe has always been to have fun. So always be each
Yes.
other's like best friend. Always remain
Yes.
keep that boyfriend girlfriend vibe. If that's keep that
Come
friendly,
on.
young vibe. But then in addition to that, I want to make sure that he understands that what I bring to him is myself, my whole self. So I have to be willing to die to myself, to sacrifice, to stay in this marriage every single day. Every day. It's not always a pretty thing. It isn't always something I
Right.
would ever want to have aired on television. I would hate to be in a
Yes.
celebrity's position because they're vulnerable moments. You and I, we all have vulnerability. Their vulnerable
Yes.
moments, their most vulnerable moments are being aired out for the world to see in such a way that is unforgiving and it's unrelentless. It's not
Yes.
right to me to have so much of a person's humanity exposed, as if to say
Yes.
none of us, as if to say that it's not possible for you or me to behave in those ways. Like, oh, they're just so bad. Tell me how to get to the camera, Carl. I'm trying to get in the camera, Marty. I'm trying to come back to the camera. It's not
You're all
working.
good. Listen. Your knowledge that you're dropping from us is amazing. John, good evening, man. Good to see you this evening. Appreciate you joining us. And so we were hearing, for those who might be just joining now, about this amazing 28-year marital relationship, and it's not all sunshine and roses every day. But yes, let's hear from the hubby as well, from the Mister, about it's 28 years. Come on, talk to us.
Well, I mean, it is a sacrifice, and for those of you who know April, you know that we spent 6 years in the Navy, and for her, it was kind of like a combined sacrifice. I sacrificed for the country, and she did not like that sacrifice, but she sacrificed for me and gave to me. But then
Right.
I poured back on her. I would say tenfold, maybe twofold. I poured into her education. I poured into her career. I worked
Right.
and just basically paved the way for her to go to school. I, try to support her at home
Listen,
as I
we
could.
balance each other out because when he didn't, I did it anyway. The truth is,
Right.
the kids were in school. I was in school. We was all in school. It's
Right.
all good. And on the days he didn't want to support it, I went anyway. You have to do what you have to do. But I think love finds a way back after you just remember that it's not always going to be love.
Right.
It ain't even always going to be friendship. Sometimes it's just straight up
Right.
partnership. It's business. It's an agreement. And so at the end of the day, for me, marriage is not just a unit, but you have a contract that you signed, that you two agreed
Come on.
on. Hell or high water, y'all gonna work this out. So you have to find a way to hold your end of the contract up. And when they're not willing to do their part, you have to step back and realize that they don't complete you. This is a partnership, and if they're not going to be a healthy partner and they can't hold up their end of the bargain, then you have to do what you have to do in the meantime. But I'm with you, Marty. I'm pro marriage. I'm not going to ever support
Hmm.
or endorse someone saying that marriage doesn't work. Marriage works as long as you work it. It's just a lot of work that's involved. So if both parties are willing to do
Wait,
their part,
hold on. You went fast. You dropped some nuggets and went. Marriage is a lot of work, but you said, but there's see. I wish I could hit the
as
recall button
long
on
as you're
that because
willing to
that was
work it.
That's it. As long as you're willing to work it. That's good. That is good. Marriage is a lot of work as long as you're willing to work it. Jeff Walker says out of Detroit, I love that point of view, Dr. April. Yes, marriage is a lot of work as long as you're willing to work it. And that's the part. And I love that the joint sacrifice and the equal sacrifice. And again, thank you for your service that, because a lot of our Black vets don't get the credit for the work that you do. So again, we salute you on the show. We like celebrating Black excellence. And when I see the two of you and see all of us on this, Wandalyn, you as I see nothing but Black excellence on here. And we don't celebrate that enough. And that's what our show is all about, celebrating Black excellence and in everything that we do. Wandalyn, what's your take? And I love even your transparency and saying, "Hey, I'm separate. I'm a little separation, but we're working together because my husband needs to get some personal things together."
Right.
And
Right.
that's maturity. Oh my God, that's such maturity. It is.
So I have to give the foundation, which is being God centered, that He is the
Yes.
source. And
Come on.
so when I know that source, I know what the end is, because He says that it will all work out for my good. And so that part right there. But kind of getting back is about, Jada and Will, and I agree with what
Yes.
Dr. April say about this public life, and it's something
Yes.
that they chose. But and
Mm-hmm.
I know that industry, that you have to be in that public to get wherever you need to go.
Yes.
um but they started their relationship in the public, not probably on the best foundation, and we've just seen their life unfold and
Well,
upside down, and
yes.
it's like we've been on that ride with them, you know. um I think individually, as and I was let me kind of pivot back, because I was doing a little bit of reading to kind of catch up,
Mm-hmm.
because the post that I read was, he's filed for divorce, and or she's filed for divorce. But in the reading, they said that they're never going to get a divorce. That is
Mm-hmm.
not in their agreement. So however they're going to choose to live separately or get back together until they work it out, um, it's for me personally just kind of disheartening,
Mm.
because our families and children, they need to see healthy marriages and healthy families
Healthy
making,
relationships. Yes.
yes, relationships, and getting along, working through the conflict, in a healthy manner. Um, so I'm saddened. I'm saddened because I love them both. I love their work, and I think
Mm-hmm.
they're great people making some
Yeah, I wish
poor
I knew them personally.
decisions.
I said, well, someone please get a hold. Somebody find Will for me. I need someone to find Will. I just want to have coffee with the brother, and I don't want to
Yes.
therapize him. I don't say, "Are you all right?" Because like he
Mm,
hasn't said anything, and
Mm.
I because
yeah.
it takes great strength not to say any, and I really hope he's working on himself, like you were sharing, Wandalyn, that he's working on
Hmm.
himself and everything. But can I just, okay, the male in me is coming out. Just I'm taking off all that. The male in me is coming out.
Mm.
I just want to be like, Jada, shut up. Don't say nothing. And I don't know if it's a publicity stunt. Everybody said they're actors, but like I told them, I said, if it is an acting stunt, at least they're getting paid for it. How many of us have acted just like them and have not made a dime and only tearing our
Mm.
families even further apart? And that was my
Mm.
question. If they're acting, then they really deserve every award we can give them. But if they're not, you know, but how many of
It's
us, and I
sad.
say that this way, it is, go ahead, Dr. April, it is sad.
It's sad because you're witnessing, in my opinion, the destruction of her image, the destruction of
Mm.
his image
Mm,
and reputation. You're
mm-hmm.
witnessing the recreation of and telling of a story, of their story without their narrative. Even if you listen
Mm.
to her, when you listen to her without him, you don't hear his story. So, like, my husband came and popped in and was in the scene for a second, but you're not hearing his voice, you're not hearing his story. Not really,
Yeah.
you're hearing my perspective of our marriage. And so I think it's unfair to judge either of them based on what the other person has said alone. It's not the complete picture. And I also think it's unfair for the children, adults or not, who are
Mm.
now living
Yeah.
in the shadow of all of this pain and this family, family drama that's being played out for us. And it's being created in a way that's just unhealthy. The way that it's being narrated, the behaviors are concerning, the things that we've witnessed are concerning, but even worse, the things that the media is saying is just terrible. They're taking every possible negative angle and putting it out there for the world to watch for entertainment. And this is a family not meant for entertainment. It's just not appropriate to me. Whether if your marriage unit is okay with other partners, if your marriage unit has suffered infidelity, it doesn't matter what the issue is. It should be worked out alone with the two and not with the world entertaining itself based on, the storytelling and re-storytelling. So I've seen more memes now of the two of them than I've ever seen
Oh
before.
my God.
And
Agreed.
it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. So
Yeah,
I
I
will
agree.
delete it. I don't watch it. I won't watch it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. You
Mhm.
brought up something, Dr. April, that here recently I've been seeing a lot of, and I have to, when I'm in it, pick my mouth up and go, don't act surprised. This new, we knew swinging was out there. We knew, but it's coming to. I had a client bring his wife and his girlfriend that the wife introduced him to, and this was us folkses and the church members, and
Mhm.
I'm just going, mm, help me, Holy Ghost, because
Really?
oh, I kid
Wow.
you not. I kid you not. Thank God they
Wow.
go to LA and they live in LA. They want to come way out here because they want to keep everything private and all that. But this whole new philosophy theory, I don't know what you call it, about now having these open marriages, these open relationships. And can we, because we heard about the rumors for many, many years about Will and Jada that, they have an open marriage, open relationship, all this. And then when Jada got caught up in the situationship with her son's best friend, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother show all in itself. But Wandalyn, are you seeing this, and what is this trend? And I'm trying not to be judgmental, but in it I'm just going, this is
Mhm.
crazy. I told one said this is just crazy. You're setting, and they've even taken one better yet, they even go on vacations together with their children on both sides. Now that is mind blowing to me.
Hmm.
Mind
Well, I
blowing.
think Dr. April hit it. The world is just going. My grandmother used to say, "Hell in a handbasket." Um, right is wrong, and wrong is right. But that's the moral and caliber of individuals. So
hmm
when individuals come to me, if that is their moral, I'm just going to ask them, how is this working out for you? How is this working
Yes.
out for you? And
Half the time it's
and if
not
it's not working out, then we got to think about doing something different. And
different.
so I find myself to be a unique therapist, and I don't do Christian counseling, but I do Christian counseling.
Hmm
You've got to find your value. You've got to find
hmm
what you stand for so that you're just not falling for anything. And and what Dr. April says, you have to willing to do the work. You got to do the work.
That
Bottom
part.
line. Hmm.
That part.
So to me, I
Yeah.
Dr.
think
April.
I want to add on what Wandalyn just shared. If a person is broken and
Mm,
in a relationship and they're looking
mm,
for the partner to help them be unbroken or less broken,
Hmm.
they'll
mm.
never be
Hmm.
happy.
Never.
Because
Ooh.
the parts of you that's broken are just
Ooh.
distracted by and with the partner,
Right.
not healed by and with that partner.
Right.
So for me, I think
Wow.
aim should be wholeness for yourself first, and then you can focus on that other person, like you shared, Marty. Because if you don't, then you're going to always find fault in them because you're looking for them to heal you.
Yes.
That's their
Right.
job.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. I know time is flying by us, and I guess we'll make sure because I want to make sure people know how to get a hold of you guys too. But if you could share um, one piece of advice that you would give to whether the relationship is healthy, whether it needs a tune up, or whether it just needs a complete overhaul on it and everything. Wandalyn, what's some advice that you would give to those who are in relationships or seeking relationships, maybe that has just been a can be a life changing
Mm.
piece of advice or event or something to put in their toolbox?
So we need to learn how to do relationship. We need to
Mm,
get the information. We need to get the knowledge. We need to get the wisdom. We get that by reading, going to workshops, going to conferences,
mm,
having wonderful mentors in your life to
mm,
hold you accountable when you are
mm,
not doing it right. Um, what is the scripture says? We perish for lack
Mm-mm,
of
mm-mm,
knowledge.
mm-mm.
yes, yes.
We get the knowledge, we can do something different. It's not a crime to make a mistake, but we got to stop making the same mistake over and over and over again.
I love so you're saying we got to be very intentional about
Intentional.
how we're developing. Yeah, I love the
Yes.
intentionality. That's so true. Because I agree with you. Do we put as much effort into perfecting our relationships like we do perfecting our hobbies
Right.
or anything like that? And are we putting that much effort into it? Are we being the relationship? If I can say, instead of being a gym rat, are we being a relational rat? If I
Come on.
just to paraphrase like that, and are we putting that much effort in making sure that the emotional support of the relationship looks better than our physical support of the relationship in some
Mm.
regards. Dr. April, what's your advice? Because 28 years. Listen, I'm coming to sit at y'all
Yeah.
feet. If I ever get remarried again, I'm like, how did y'all do it? What? Come on, teach me, teach me.
I would say I had to learn how to shut up,
Ooh.
and he had to learn how to talk. So for me, if I don't make space for him to be, like to just be, without my opinion, without me weighing in, without me trying to make him into my wife, then
Mm.
he'll never be able to grow up into the fullness of his own, of his own identity. And then if he doesn't
Ooh.
speak up, then I'll never learn the parts of me that need to be refined, if that makes sense. So
Mm.
for me, my
Oh.
personality is the louder one and he's the quieter one, but he has to be willing to speak up to help me know when I've gone too far, when I've said too much, when I've, whatever it is that needs to be balanced. I feel like we're put
Hmm.
together for a reason. We do create a complete picture. While we don't complete each other, we are complete already when we come to the relationship, but we do make a complete picture, right? We're a unit, stronger
Yes.
unit
Love
together.
it.
Yes.
So
Love it.
so learning how to shut my mouth so he can speak, and I never forget it. The first month I think of our marriage, we were so young. We were 20 when we got married,
Right.
and
Oh
so that
wow.
first month of our marriage, I said the worst things, not because I was trying to hurt him in his like heart of hearts, but I really said the worst
Right.
things because that's what I knew. I didn't know
Mm.
another way of
Uh
being
huh.
inside of marriage. I
Uh huh.
never learned how to be married. I never learned anywhere. And he had a great model. He had his parents, and they stayed married for almost 60 years. When she passed away, I think it was 57 years
Wow.
that they were married. She
Mm.
passed last.
Wow.
Mm.
So so what my mother-in-law taught me was that you always, leave with a kiss and say good things because you never know when you're gonna not see them again. And I remember thinking like, that's stupid. I don't care. I'm not gonna do that. And at that 1 month mark, I said something he didn't like, and he was just like, "Okay, I'm getting out of the car. I don't have to take this." And I was just like, "Well, wait, what? We got married?" And he was just like, "Yeah, uh huh." and you said you hate me, so deuces, I'm out. So he leaves and walks, like walks
Mm,
7 miles to his brother's house. And I, at that time, didn't even know where his brother lived. And so it took me 2 days to figure out and find this husband of mine. And when I finally caught up with him, I was just like, how did you come to the decision that this would be a good idea? And he said, because I'm not going to stay and be hurt by your words. And I was like, what did I say that
mm,
was that bad? He said, you said you hate me. And I thought, so I always say that. So at that juncture, at 1 month, I was committed to no longer saying the most detrimental things to this other human being, because to him, words have
mhm.
greater value than anything else. To me, gifts have the greatest value. So when you don't remember my birthday, my heart is broken. But for him, if you don't say kind words, you devour his spirit. So it's just like understanding who we are. That all, we kind of
Love
grew to get to that
languages.
place, right? We learned our
Yeah.
Mhm.
love languages, but that's like 10, 15 years down the road. I learned when he got out that car that I don't want him getting out the car again. So I'm going to treat him a little differently. I can't talk to him the way I talk to my sister. He
Wow.
makes, so I would
Oh, but
say make sure
okay.
to treat each other with kindness.
I love it. And Daryl, can you put up Tanya Hill's comment again? She goes, "Listen, y'all are just you are helping me tonight." Yes, yes, we appreciate that. Yes, y'all. I just say I love having I normally have been so intentional about having black male therapists on here all the time, but the two of you have softened me up some, and it's great to have both of you on here tonight just to bring wisdom and to share your insights. And I've learned so much. And listen, this is not the last time. Y'all gonna get sick of me asking y'all to be on the show and doing some stuff and everything. But before we go, I need everyone to be able to follow you guys and be able to contact. And again, if you are in need of services, I highly, 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 highly recommend both of these ladies, their services. You already see the quality that you're going to get from them. Tell friends. We gotta tell other people about these. That's more women. Thank you, Ronnie. More women. I'm gonna get more women on here. I guess they're tired of it. We need a part two. I know, Tanya. We always need a part two. We really, really do. I want to thank these beautiful queens tonight for coming on, being
Mm.
so transparent. Wow, wow, and sharing their lives with us. So, Wandalyn, how can we get a hold of you? How can we stay in touch with you? How can we follow you? All those great things. And, what kind of insurance panels and all these type of things do you take? I want to bring some business your way if we can.
So my business is Insight Services. Um, I just changed my name, so I'm just going to give you that. But you can go to my website, insight.com, insight2win.com,
Come on,
and
yes,
you can book there. I'm credentialed with several insurances,
wonderful.
and so we can talk about that. But I am willing to work with individuals because I'm in it for the work to help
Yes.
others.
I love it. I love it. So those of you who need don't come to her talking about you got $5 on it. No, no, no. We
No,
no,
we
not
not we're
unless
not
that's a
gonna do that.
copay. Unless that's a copay. Yes, and it's yes, insight the number 2 win.com. Insight, am I saying that correctly, Wandalyn?
Mhm.
Insight
The
the
number
number 2, yes,
2.
win.com. Please,
Yes,
please,
sir.
please, definitely please check out Wandalyn, a licensed marriage and family therapist here in the city of San Bernardino. Now, do you do telehealth as well?
I do.
Love
I
it.
do.
Love it. Love
Hmm.
it. Love it. Love it. That's my mother. She says, thanks, ladies. Dr. April, how can we get a hold of you and your amazing staff that you have at Clay Counseling Services?
Thank you. So we have two organizations. Our nonprofit is Clay Counseling Foundation. So you can find us online. You can find us at
I love it.
www.counseling.org, or you can visit us on Instagram at what is it? Clay Counseling Foundation is the Instagram
Foundation.
handle. And then our Clay Counseling Solutions, which is just straight therapy, not the nonprofit. The Clay Counseling Solutions is definitely Clay Counseling on Instagram, but you can reach us either way, right? And claycounseling.solutions.com is the website. But if you want to reach out to us, we're happy to support you. We have a team of clinicians that are here to provide services. And ultimately, even if we're not able to get to what you need, maybe you have some special needs that you want to be able to work through. If you need
Right.
a referral or whatever, we'll work with you to try and get you connected to the next step.
I love it. Y'all heard it here. Let's support our Black-owned businesses. Let's not say there's not help out there. These two ladies are phenomenal, and I cannot thank you enough. Dr. Clay, thank you, thank you, thank you. The advocate out there, if you see her in the IE, shout out to her. Wanda Lynn, happy birthday. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
joining us on your birthday. I'm so honored. Thank
Yay.
you so much, so much, so much. And we can't thank these ladies enough for joining us today on this episode of Mental Health Marty. Daryl's getting me to the right solo page on this. So we want you to also check out our website at mentalhealthmarty.com. On the website, you will find some of our media as well as our merchandise on there to support you because it's getting holiday season time and we want you to definitely get our merch. Please get my that is our journal, Stop the Stinking Thinking Journal. It is on the website and you definitely can get that because we want you journaling all the negative maladaptive thoughts. We have the Black Mental Health Matters, Black Men Matter t-shirt and in the hoodie on the website as well. It's getting chilly out there, so we definitely want you to get the hoodie, and it makes a wonderful Christmas gift. And please support my book. There's a great stocking stuffer. Chris is Sad. It's a children's book that deals with divorce and divorced families, and so that our children do suffer as well. We want to make sure that you know that. Now, we don't want to leave you without having some resources available for you. Again, we have Insight to number 2 Win. We have Clay Counseling. And if you're going through any type of crisis, we want you to dial crisis to 741-741. There's psychology today. There's therapy for Black men, good therapy, all of these things. And Marcel WC, if you need those type of services, as well as dialing 988 if you have any type of emergency, because we never want you to leave here without having the support and resources that you need available to you. But in this amazing journey called life, we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame, but we want you to speak up, speak out, and live so that you can enjoy your life. We'll see you next week for another exciting show. Be safe and God bless.